Dagnabbit, you ruined the sign! How are they gonna read it now?
You need to stop this now, before it goes too far.
Stop? But everyone's dying to see what I do next.
Let him go now.
Really? Okay, if you say so, then. Whoopsie! No! You really need to speed things up, Bats. At this rate, you'll never catch me!
I need to shut down power to this room.
Okay, welcome back, my little Batlambs. That was a quick recap of where we left off from the last video. Joker has sealed the doorway ahead of us, and he's electrified the water, so we have to figure out how to shut off the power. Luckily, we already know that there's some power lines running through the floor, and we can use our investigation mode to track them to where the generator room is. So, real quick, we're going to take out these Joker teeth just for the heck of it, and then we're going to make our way to the generator room. Now, as long as you're paying attention, the riddle that popped up on the screen is super easy to solve. We just gotta walk up here to this memorial bench, see that it's for Batman's parents, and all we gotta do is scan it. This is one of those annoying times, though, where you have to zoom in on the nameplate, and it can be a little bit tricky because when you're zoomed in, you may have to turn around and take a couple of steps back. I don't know why they did it that way. You would think you'd be able to go ahead and scan it while you're standing right next to it.
Today is a special day.
What do you mean?
This is the anniversary of my new life. When I found my true self, my destiny.
Are you referring to the event with Dr. Woodrow?
Yes. What else? Of course, at the time, I thought Jason had poisoned me. But in retrospect, he did me a huge...
Okay, depending on how well you've been upgrading yourself, there are multiple different ways of trying to handle all these thugs in here. Real quick, we can easily grapple up and get to a spot to where they won't be able to see us, so we can try and attack from above. We've got multiple batarangs unlocked, so we should be able to stun a couple of them, but unfortunately, as you'll see, the stun didn't last as long, so I started getting overwhelmed pretty quick. And there ended up being... I got my good combos in to where I got special moves unlocked, but for some reason, even though my special moves are supposed to be unblockable, against some of the inmates in here, they just didn't activate right, so I do end up getting knocked down. So if you want to go ahead and skip to the next chapter, go ahead, I think it's around 4:52, or go ahead and watch and see just how well I did manage to do until one of the thugs got a lucky kick to my back.
Is he okay? You want some of this? Don't let him hit you, you idiot! Do it again! Kick their ass! This pipe is going through your face! I'll cut you! Finish him off, Batman! Gonna stick this shoulder bottom up your ass, you'll be choking on it! The crap out of you! One minute to get back! I salute my fallen enemy!
Okay, for round 2, what I'm going to try is I'm going to make sure I take out the guys that have got the weapons. If I can stun them down for at least a few seconds, I'll be able to go after the couple of guys that don't have any weapons on them. They'll be much easier to attack and get a good string of combos on.
Don't let him hit you, you idiots! Ow! Finish him off, Batman! Hey, buddy! Won't last 1 minute against Batman!
So that time definitely went a lot more smoother. We only lost one part of our health bar, and we got some good attacks and combos in,
okay?
So we got some good
fine.
XP.
I eat punks
Now we
like
just
these for
gotta
breakfast.
rescue the
were they
maintenance
doing?
tech here and shut off the
Ones that
power.
weren't hitting me went over there and started doing something to the power controls. I have no idea what they were doing.
The booby trap the Joker set up here is especially tricky. We're actually going to have to break the encryption on it 3 times. So it could take you a bit of time unless you're really good at moving these control sticks around and getting that wave to appear just right. Sometimes it happens almost instantly. Other times you find yourself just spinning them in circles until you finally get a green light.
Looks like I've cut the power to the generator ahead.
We're going to need the range upgrade to our decryption device. That way we can go ahead and deactivate this security door. Luckily, we're getting pretty close to having enough experience for another upgrade, so we should be able to come back here on our way out of the gardens once we take care of everything we need to do in here.
Well, aren't you the persistent one, Bats? Always one step ahead. It won't be long before I have an army of Titan monsters at my fingertips. Ooh, just imagine me being carried through the streets, stepping over the corpses of all those innocents. It's going to be glorious, so I can't wait.
Now that the water isn't electrified, we can safely walk through it and get over to the other side. It's pretty obvious we're going to have to pull open that grate and get into the vents. There's going to be a Riddler clue that pops up. We'll be able to solve that as we're making our way through the vents, and then there's also going to be one of the little question mark trophies for us to pick up. So let's go ahead and get through this. The abandoned chamber here is pretty big, and it's going to require us to kind of puzzle our way through some jumps and stuff. There is several secrets that are hidden here that we'll be able to get, but there's also going to be a couple that we're going to have to come back for. So, we're just going to spend the next few minutes exploring here real quick and getting everything we can, and then we're going to move on to the next area. Cutting this rope will allow this fallen piece of metal grating to drop down more, and we'll be able to use it as a walkway to get to several of the areas that we needed to. I probably should have done it as soon as I first walk in, because as you saw, I kind of got myself lost and couldn't figure out how to get back here. But now that we're here, we're going to take care of it and get the rest of the secrets, and then we'll be done with this area.
Another mutation. If Joker's making these monsters, he hasn't perfected the formula yet. I need to hurry.
What is this thing do anyway?
One of the last things we can get in this area before we leave is one of those Riddler question marks that's in two pieces that you can only see in detective mode, and you gotta line them up to sit there and scan it. It took me a minute to remember which way I needed to go and climb to get into position, but then I figured it out. So let's go ahead and take care of that, and then we'll be on our way and done with this area. There's another secret here, but we're going to need to get our grappling line that allows us to zip across areas before we can get that. So that'll be one that we come back for.
Please, stop. I told you what you wanted to know. You got everyone. Please. He's here!
Are you okay?
Do I look okay? They were gonna kill me. We were in the aviary hiding out, and they came in with Joker shooting up the place and loaded us into cages.
Are they still in there?
No, man. No one's come out since. You got to help them.
Stay here.
Okay, so there's a couple of hostages we got to rescue in the Aviary, and there's also a couple of secrets that we can pick up along the way. It might be enough to get us an upgrade point. We'll see, but let's go ahead and grab what we can and then make our way to the Aviary.
What? You found that one too? Preposterous.
Patient interview, Pamela Lillian Isley, November 14th, 10:21 a.m.
What do you call the detective who is only halfway to the end? Loser?
Help me! Someone! Get me out of this thing!
Listen, the bat is on the way. If you see him, send the annoying doctors to hell. That's the down one, right?
Yeah, they're going down.
Good. And remember, if you hear a collar go off, Batman's here.
Well, my little lambs, we're going to have to end this video on a bit of a cliffhanger. This is definitely a tricky situation. We'll have to take our time to get through. We're going to get right to that in the next video, so thank you so much for watching, my little lambs, and I hope to see you again next time in the Digital Wonderlands.